All right, well, hey, Electric Starship fans, it's Mike Woods, the owner, the tech, the everything here at Electric Starship. Although I couldn't do it without my wonderful daughter who's behind the camera today. We usually have Tate behind the camera. Say hi, Autumn.
Hi.
I'm sure you can hear that better than speakers over there. So anyway, I thought since we're almost made it a year now here at the Electric Starship, we're looking at, it's May, but we're looking June 12th. That's our year anniversary, so we're pretty excited we've made it that far. So I figured I'd do a little arcade tour. We haven't done one in a while. I put out a couple new games in April, or some games we had out before, so I didn't shoot a whole video for that, but I'm going to touch on those. And then I'm going to touch on some stuff we haven't had on the floor ever that I just put out this last week. So let's take that tour. So we're going to start with our little area here. This is our little Stranger Things cove here. And we put our little 60-in-1 cocktail cabinet over here. It was buried over there. No one ever went to it. I might have shown this last time when I showed we put the Pac-Man 4-player Battle Royale out there. So now we have this kind of quaint little corner. It actually gets played a whole lot more over here. You know, people just kind of come over here, set their beer down, and start playing their drinks or nachos or whatever. And then we put it under this, and with the black light, you can turn the light off on it, maybe you can see the black light a little better. Is it working? She's still learning my camera there. That's okay. It's just that one in the corner. Oh, it actually goes away. Never mind. Well, it's light on. Who cares? Anyway, so the black light hits this, and it looks pretty nice. Over here, we got House of the Dead 2. Got our zombie up there on top. Carnival still on the floor. Aliens Extermination, probably the most played game in here. Besides the Stranger Things Pinball, that one really gets a lot of play too. And the Pac-Man Battle Royale it gets a ton of play. We have Zombie Raid. We have our big showcase cabinet that I'll never buy another one of these backbreakers again with a 33-inch monitor. We got the Area 51 Maximum Force. Here we have Big Buck Hunter. This one does get played a lot because you can hear the shotguns getting caught from across the room. Lethal Enforcers 2. Now we did have Terminator on the floor. I'm working on the monitor right now. The monitor went down. So we put Lethal Enforcers 2 Gunfighters back on the floor. Silent Scope. I have a new board set I want to stick in there and try it out. We moved our Arnold painting over here, which I love. If you'll come a little closer, I'll get more of the games here because I'm definitely not the star of this. We have Dragon's Lair, Dig Dug, Hubert, Gapless, and just a great cabinet. I totally have redone that cabinet. We have Donkey Kong Jr. Someone put a pretty good score on this. Our highest score on that is 207,000. I don't know if anyone can compete with that. The guy was pretty proud when he came in. Donkey Kong Jr., as I said, Joust, Pac-Man, and then this is our Miss Pac-Man name code 20-year reunion Pac-Man Galaga Class of 81 cabinet. Big 25-inch monitor. So if you haven't played Galaga on a 25-inch monitor, that's a great way to do that. On this side we have Centipede with the little glowing trackball as a mod. You can get a little closer to that. I don't know if you can pick that up, but it actually is glowing. With the light, it's going to be a little tougher. Then I put together what I call the Vector Sector. So we got 4 of our Vector monitor games in a row. Tempest being a color vector, and this is brand new to the floor. This is our Battle Zone. Now, Battle Zone came out in, I believe, 81, and I want to say the U.S. military actually used this game. I don't know exactly what for, but maybe tank training, because it definitely is a tank game. Now, this one is missing one thing, and it's the step. So little kids, they have to bring a step with them, because this one didn't have the step when I got it. And I've been looking for one of those, but other than that, I've put new T-molding on it. I've painted a little bit on the edge, on the sides. The artwork was still good, but it was real peely, so I had to cut some of that peel away. And yeah, it's actually a really, really fun game. Come here a little closer and see if you can you see the graphics in the camera there? Oh yeah. So I'll show you how it plays, and you can kind of check out my hands and everything here. So all you're doing is tank controls. If you want to move forward, you want to move back, if you want to move left, or you want to move right, and then you got a fire button, and you can kind of hunt down these tanks. And it's been popular since we've had it on the floor. People really like it. See, I blew that one all the way to hell. And we're going to keep moving here. See if I can pick up another one here. Oh, I missed that one by just a hair. And gone. So you can get caught up on these obstacles. There's a little radar up there, and I don't know if you can pick that up, but the tank just shot me and blew my windshield out on my tank. Oh, I'm about to hit again. Oh, I got him. Took him with me though. And then see, every once in a while you'll see a spaceship out there. Look, that tank's going. You see that spaceship? I'm gonna try to get it, but oh, he juked me. He's hiding too, and I'm about to get hit. There it goes. Blew him up. Tank's over there. Oh, I think I'm gone. Oh gosh, I think that's it. Oh, I got a little life left. We're gonna cut down. I didn't even get to see the tank that time. It took me out quick. Anyway, so that's Battlezone. Really, really cool. But I think it's really neat. And I don't know a whole lot of places where you can see 4 vector games in a row. Our other one being Star Wars, color vector here. Always cool to have. This one has that Empire mod on it. So you can actually hold down this button for a second, and then this button, and it switches the game to Empire Strikes Back, which is kind of neat to see. So you can play 2 games in one on this. We have a couple games like that. Asteroids Deluxe. This actually got moved from in the back, and that way I can have all those vectors right in a row. So come to Electric Starship, play in the vector sector there. This is all my vector games right now. I'm always on the hunt for more. But yeah, see that one's Empire Strikes Back? How cool is that? Anyway, pretty neat. This is my favorite. This is my classic here, Robotron 2084. I do not have the high score right now. There's 2 people that play currently here that have better scores than me, and then there's a guy that comes in from Colorado and is just a monster at it when he's here. This was new back to the floor, and what's really great about this is I had a spare Wizard of War board set. The speech was rough on this. It wasn't working absolutely right, and also the red was out. So now, when you play it, you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear what he said, but you also have red. So the first level is a lot like Space Invaders. So you want to just kind of clear those. And we had all the other colors, but red was out, and it wasn't a monitor issue. It wasn't the small little RGB board that a lot of people were telling me it was. It's actually on the main board set. And yeah, no fun. So if you beat these little guys, which is hard to do and talk at the same time, I don't know why. It could be that I'm just not very good at this game. But I do love hearing Gore. So you said Space Cadet, and as you go up and beat all the levels, you get different rank. This is more of a laser level here, called Laser Attack. And I think it's just a great looking game. Smoked me again. Every once in a while, the robot voice will actually laugh at you, which I think is pretty fun. Alright, so you got that level. Then you have one that's actually called Galaxians, and it plays exactly like Galaxians, which we have in the back. One of our other rows back there. I want to say the color's better on this than the Galaxian monitor now. So anyway, you get the idea. Some of the cool things about Gorf, you got a lot of light bulbs in this thing. So you got kind of a cool black light effect back here. You got lights here. You got lights in the handle here. You got the little lights that light up the different rank you get as you go. And then you got this cool underlight, and it really kind of brightens up the whole row out here. So it's kind of a neat corner to put it in. And then of course we got the classic Punch Out. And I do have the high scores in this, which is fun, because I love playing this game. It's really, really cool. So, 2 monitors, that can be a pain sometimes, but not so bad. Let's check out these pinball machines. So we had Batman on the floor up until earlier this week. I put Tales from the Crypt back out on the floor, so that's why it's here. It's got the color DMD, which is really, really nice on Tales from the Crypt. And I've upgraded it with LEDs, but we've talked about that in the past videos. Always Monster Bash is out, Ghostbusters is out here. This is one that we got back fresh from Kevin. He went through this game and found a tiny piece of solder that was giving us the issue. And this game's been back out on the floor for about a month now, not really giving us any problems. So we're really happy. Thanks, Kevin, if you're watching. We're really happy to have this back out. That's one of our favorite games, World Cup Soccer. And then Stranger Things, though probably the most popular game here. This thing is getting beat to hell, man. People love this game. They play it constantly. It's pretty cool. Let's make our way over here. we have our little mini station. So we got our mini SNES, we got our mini Genesis. On the flip side over here, we have our classic NES, and we're just playing Dr. Mario. That's probably the most popular game at this location. A lot of people love playing Dr. Mario. And then we have our TurboGrafx 16 mini. A lot of play on this, you know. Didn't know that was going to be such a hit, and that's been really, really nice. Behind you is kind of a little Tron corner. And I've actually bought some more Tron stuff to add to our little Tron corner. So we got a little Tron movie poster over there. And then we got a really sweet Tron with toppers, glowing T-molding, pulsing light in the back there. So kind of cool. Next is Afterburner Climax. This is one of the newer-ish games for our arcade. Not new as in we've got it, we've had it for several months, but just it's not a classic like the row you just saw. They're really fun to play. Oh, Guitar Hero. Now, Guitar Hero gets a lot of play here as well. Maybe the Aliens, Stranger Things, and Guitar Hero is probably that top three. What do you think, Otto? You think so? Pretty cool. A really nicely done Gauntlet machine, and I love the artwork for Gauntlet 1, but I actually like Gauntlet 2 a little better just because you have some little differences in it. One, you get to fight a little red dragon, which I always thought was really cool, but two, you can pick you don't have to be in this position if you want to play the dwarf or the wizard or the Valkyrie or the warrior. You can actually play those characters. You could all 4 be warriors if you want to play like that. So I really like Gauntlet 2. We have the Gauntlet 1 board set. We just never put it in there because Gauntlet 2 is just what we've ran on this machine. Behind you is our 4-player Pac-Man Battle Royale. This gets a ton of play here. Really, really fun game. And people seem to really love it. I love that it has built-in cup holders. I do have to clean it underneath here every night because somebody's put little spills, little beer rings or Coke rings on there, so make sure those are cleaned out. We walk around here. This is kind of our, somebody left it on Poison. The rematch there. So this is a little Krelix, which is a lot like a Vulix or a Chulix if you're looking at the Chinese version of this little sit-down arcade. And it plays great. We run an Xbox 360 in it, and it had artwork that went with Super Street Fighter 4, so we put Super Street Fighter 4 in it. This is the Ultimate Edition, so it's I believe the last edition they put out of that game. And this is also a small mini cab here. This is an OK Baby. This is a candy cab. It's the only one we have. There's some other arcades that have some really sweet candy cabs. It's sure hard to get a hold of, so I'm really happy to get a hold of this one. It's got a great monitor in it, and we run Darkstalkers in it. It's the Japanese version of Darkstalkers too, so it gives you that kind of Japanese flair that this whole corner is about over here. Krelix was a wooden version of the Chulix or the Vulix, and it was made here in the States. I want to say pretty close somewhere, maybe somewhere here in Texas, I'm not sure. I bought it secondhand as I bought most of these games. Air hockey gets a ton of play. Foosball gets a ton of play. Over here we had Missile Command, but the monitor just recently went out. So someone came in and said, oh, you don't have my favorite game on the floor, Roston. And I was like, man, we love Roston. It has maybe the greatest soundtrack, at least top 5. Listen to this soundtrack and tell me this isn't awesome. Oh, well, we got to point it up first. This one has a beautiful monitor on it, but just listen to that. So epic. It's just got great sounds all the way around. This is now the one thing that's not great about Roston is that a lot of games died for the Roston kit. I don't know if this kit was real cheap, but you could look on the internet for Roston because it didn't have a dedicated cabinet, meaning Taito, they did not send this game out in its own cabinet. They sent out a kit, and operators would change old games. So, like this is in an old Joust. This is a Joust cabinet that's in. But I think the game's great. Listen to this. Really, that's just epic. If the soundtrack is, there's no other word. It's just straight up epic. Anyway, that's Roston. I just like the sound of it. Off-Road Thunder, Ivan Stewart's, not Off-Road Thunder, it's just Ivan Stewart's Off-Road. Great game. This is they make a version where there's 2 steering wheels. This is 3. Now this game's on loan. This is Chris's game. This is Mace the Dark Age. I might have went over this in the last video. The thing I love about it, other than the gameplay is actually really fun, is it's got the coolest side art. I've always wanted this game. I have a midway cabinet in the back, and I've talked to a guy that's about to start reproducing this. He's just got to scan it first, and then I can make my own Mace, and Chris can have his back. So over here, Rampage World Tour. That one came back out on the floor this last month, and it's been a hit for us. Die Hard, it gets a lot of play. It's pretty wild. I love the cabinet Die Hard's in, and it actually gets a ton of play here. Another one that gets a ton of play is our Need for Speed Super Bikes. A lot of times you just see kids rocking on it like this. You seen this on them? Kids are just...
Yeah.
And then a lot of kids are small, and they don't have enough momentum to like actually turn, so they're constantly just wrecking into the side. This one gets a ton too. This is Arctic Thunder. One of my favorite things about Arctic Thunder is when you're riding, it has so much feedback. You know, you're getting the vibration from the snowbanks you're hitting. You're also getting cool wind blowing your face. This is a great summertime game. Jambo Safari. We have another off-road. We have off-road challenge in the back, and I thought about putting it out for Jambo Safari, but people really love playing this, and I don't think this is in a ton of arcades anymore. I don't really see this anywhere. Have you seen this anywhere when you've went anywhere? Any of the other arcades? So I'm not sure. Maybe they have it, maybe they don't, but I just don't see this one a lot, and it's really fun, kind of wrangling. It's like animal fishing, right? Like you're just chasing after the animal, and then you get them on the hook, and you're trying not to break the line. So it feels that's what it feels like to me. Off-Road Thunder, great, fun game. Need for Speed Underground. We have two of these, and we've had them linked in the past. Right now we just have the one because I kind of wanted some variety back here instead of two linked games. And plus we did linking with our war there. Cruising Exotica. Maybe my favorite from the Exotica series, or the Cruising series. Really, really fun game. This is our War Final Assault duo where you can play either cooperatively or against each other, which is really cool. Another one that gets a ton of play is Golden Tee, which I was told, every time I used to tell people, hey, I'm going to build an arcade one day, they go, are you going to have Golden Tee? And eventually I was like, well, I don't know. And then eventually I was like, yes, I'm going to have Golden Tee. Because everybody wants to play Golden Tee. It's wild. So we have the 2005 Golden Tee here. We also have another real popular game at this location. It's Rockin' Bolorama. This game's not easy to keep up, guys. Y'all tell me y'all love it, and people have told me if it ever breaks permanently, they just want it to put in their house, which is weird. I hear that all the time, actually. Just because they love the look of it, and it's a conversation piece. A really, really fun game, and I saw one first at Cidercade, and I was like, man, I want that game. And yeah, it's tough to keep up, but people love it, so we're going to keep on keeping up. Back here we have our Bubble Checks Hockey. Love this. It's a great game. This one used to be in our house. Remember that? We played this when you were really young. We don't really... yeah. Hey, what's the first rule of Fight Club? Do you know?
Yeah, you don't talk about Fight Club.
You don't talk about Fight Club, right? So, anyway, so we're going to talk about Frogger. So, Frogger is a popular game, and because it's in this back corner, a lot of people don't know that we have it. We have Frogger. So, if anyone's looking, they can just come back here and play it. And it plays great. And there you go. I'm going to put it right in the garage there. Boom. 1943 Battle of Midway. Whoa! Oh, a hand over the heart. Whatever. Big salute. Anyway, Autumn backed into the hockey game. Stun Runner. Again, another one I don't see in a ton of arcades. Really, really cool game. Has that cool 3D effect. My kids played this all the time on our main when we had main at home. They never got to actually see it. And it was one of their favorite games, if I remember. Is that the correct memory there? We got our Afterburner here, Galaxian, right there. Another classic that's just kind of hidden in the back. Here's Aliens. This is Konami's Aliens. This is a Data East cabinet. I love that curved marquee. And I did some custom work on this. This control panel is not the one that was sent with Aliens kit, but I could never find that one. So I found someone that made this, and I put that on there. And then this bezel here was totally a custom thing. And I think it's really neat. You can see Ripley's eyes, the alien. It just looks like it was made to be an arcade bezel. And it was just I think maybe a Mondo poster or something, and I just kind of cut the middle out. It looks really great, I think. You can see aliens on both sides. You see the little crew from Aliens there. So really fun game. This one's not been on the floor. It was on the floor at first. I took it off the floor, redid the monitor, redid the whole control panel, new CPO, new joystick. It's been getting a lot of play. I hate that I had to move Crystal Castles back here. I love looking at it. I just think it's great artwork. Just a really fun, cool game. Beautiful art all over it. Smash TV, just another great twin stick shooter. I love the side art on that. You see the guy, and it reminds me of the movie Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Our Turtles in Time. And then this is a cool row, and it's got one of our new games this month on it. Well, first of all, it's got Alien Syndrome, all right, which is just, again, another one you don't see a lot of places. Love, I put some little side blades on. They made custom for it, a custom bezel. The topper on this is just, it's legit. I love that. So if you got an Alien Syndrome, you got to have it in the original Sega cabinet. But this 3 right here this is all Brian Colin's artwork here. And so this month I got to put together a vector sector over there, and then I got to put an artist, all 3 of his games here. So another one of his games would be Arch Rivals. I just think NBA Jam is so fun. I don't know that you need Arch Rivals, but it's great in its own right. But over here we got Xenophobe, and this is the new one. So, had this cabinet, it had aliens in it, but you can see I'd already built an alien. So then I said, well, what about, let's do Alien Syndrome. Well, then I ran into a dedicated Alien Syndrome. So then I was like, you know what? I want to try to put this thing back to Xenophobe, because in an Aliens control panel, but I said I'm not going to do it unless I find the whole control panel. It's got these unique joysticks, with these unique colors in them, with the 2 buttons, side art. The whole thing's unique. It's not really on any other game. And I found it. I found the whole control panel. Someone had cut all the wires, so I had to redo all the wiring on it. But yeah, so I found the control panel. So then I hunted down the boards, and I hunted down the little sound board, a little dual amp, the same thing that's in Tron. Hunted all that down. I found a partial wiring harness on quarterarcade.com. It was enough to get me going where I only had to build a little bit of wiring. So really neat game. It's unique. It's got this crazy perspective. So whichever control you're on controls this section of the screen. Now you can see yourself. You can pick from 3 different characters, and they're all different depending on the 3 different colors you are here. And I don't know who I picked, but you'll all be in the same ship, and so you're going to this shuttle here, and they're transferring this little, kind of like Star Trek, where they can beam you onto the ship there. Isn't that cool? And then you control these guys. See, I'm really just need to look at this screen though, because once I leave that room, I'm controlling here, and these guys are still controlling down here. And you can share the same screen or not. And it's basically, you're just hunting down the aliens and trying to kill them. But you can find all kinds of little stuff on the floor. The buttons are actually correspond with the controls in the middle, and they change sometimes. So this one says jump, and that one's crouch. So if I want to crouch, but if I get a critter on me, it says throw critter, and that's how you do it. So, but you get little weapon upgrades. You see down here, there's a xenomorph that was going through the door. See, he's coming in on our side there. Can be confusing if you don't know what you're looking at. What do you think, Autumn? Is that all? Did I make any sense there?
I think you make sense.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, as long as you think so, that's all I care about. And then there's a guy watching in the UK. Do you know that? He watches our videos. He's in the UK. Well, I was really proud, I guess. I told you twice. I don't know.
I'd be proud too.
It's kind of neat. I didn't know anyone would care. So that's kind of cool. Pigskin 621 AD. Probably the most underrated game in the arcade. I don't see nearly enough people playing it. Super, super fun. You don't have to be into sports or anything to play that, or into medieval times or anything to play it. It's just really, really fun. And then Rampage, it's a classic. Everyone knows that one. This one had an extra hole cut in the control panel, and I just filled it with the green button. So it doesn't really do anything on Rampage, but it looks nice and it just kind of blends in. So, Alien versus Predator. You know, I don't get to see, I think kind of a neat thing is, a lot of times when you have a game that's facing away from the whole bar area and the counter area up there, you don't get to see people playing it. But how you know someone's playing your game is, come here, I'll show you. See, that was a 1 player, and the little fella has been completely rubbed off of it. I'll show you on our Street Fighter how the 2nd player is rubbed off of it, because people most of the time walk up and play it as a 2-player game. Anyway, Defender, another classic. Popeye, just looking good. This one hadn't been back on the floor a long time, but I think I made one of our last videos we had it. Simpsons. I just took this monitor out and put a new flyback in it because people were saying, oh, it's getting blurry. So it would go in and out of focus throughout the day. Now, it's in focus all day long. Our Neo Geo has Metal Slug 3 in it. Last Resort, which is a pretty rare game. I didn't know how rare it was, but kind of nice. Real Bout Fatal Fury Special. This is one of the better ones, higher ranking of the Fatal Fury series. And then Bust a Move. This is the only game I cannot remove from this cabinet because people play it all the time. So anyway, that's our Neo Geo. Primal Rage, WrestleMania. We're getting more into our fighting game section here. Tekken 3, Mortal Kombat 4, but this also has a dual JAMA kit in it. So I can hold this button and switch to the other board, which has Ultimate MK3 in it. So you can play either one. Or if you're really good, you can play them both at the same time. I'm not really good, but I'll at least show you that. So like you can go in here and pick Smoke and get a match started with Smoke. And then you can hold those buttons down, go in here, get a match started with, say, Sub-Zero. And then you can switch back and you can play. Like a round with Smoke really quick if you wanted to. Uh-oh. I was going to flawless him. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's kill this guy. Oh, let's switch back. And then you play here. Did you know you can do that? You didn't know that? Isn't that crazy? You can play 2 games at once. I really don't know. There it is. I'm not very good at part 4. And I'm only good with Smoke on part 3, to be honest. It's been too long. Oh, he totally saw that coming. I don't know this finishing move. So, anyway. X-Men. People are saying, I can't hear it. And I couldn't hear it either. The sound was out. You can hear it now. So, there's a specific little board, little chip, something in there for the sound. I took it to Raymond. Raymond got it fixed up like that. And while I was there, I asked him for a sound on Mortal Kombat 2. People were asking about that. Hey, I can't hear your Mortal Kombat 2. You can hear it now, too. It's pretty awesome. I love this one so much. Anyway, Raymond says, hey, it's the caps on your soundboard. I know it. It's a common problem. I went, really? All right. Pull the soundboard, change the caps, music went back. And I'm not very good at this game either. Good enough to get by. Let's see. Maybe we can go fatality for the folks. What do you think? Yeah, I gotta win before I try. This is the sound though. It's so good now. And we turned it way up. Like anything that doesn't have sound for a while, and you figure out the sound issue, you want to hear it. So turn it up as best you can. And oh gosh. Wow. I'm gonna lose now. Oh no, I'm not. Oh, you gotta go, sub. You gotta go. There you go. That's not good. Anyway, and then we have Killer Instinct, which is really, really fun too. We got one more little section of the arcade, and then we're done. So, Killer Queen. Awesome. Awesome 1-on-1. Really awesome 2-on-2. But it's best when there's just more and more people you get. Up to 10 players on Killer Queen. We hope to do some tournaments sometime, you know, once everybody's got vaccinated and everything. Maybe we can start promoting that. So, our Street Fighter 2, this is, I call it a big black. It's the cabinet's like a big blue, like the one you see next to it. Our Street Fighter 2 had a Pandora box in it. And the reason it did is because there's games that our arcade simply don't have, that are rare, or they never made a dedicated one, or just don't have it yet because you can't find it. And we were running that because you could play almost all the Street Fighters, the classic ones, in this game. So, but I made a dedicated Pandora box machine, and I put straight Street Fighter in here. And our board set is Super Street Fighter 2 Grandmaster Challenge. So this is, I think here in the States, it's Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. This is the Japanese board set of this game. I had to install a little button here, our little glowing button, to put coins in because there's no free play mode on the Japanese port set, at least not one that I could find. So I'll show you. You just simply hit this to coin it up, and then it says push 1 to start, and I'll do it. And I'm not very good, but come here. I want you to see some of the things that might be confusing because stateside. So over here, the boxer, his name is Balrog. Well, it's M. Bison. They changed his name over here because they want to be like Mike Tyson, M. Bison, because that's totally what Japan had, right? Then Balrog is now what Vega's character is, and if you pick M. Bison, who's the last boss in the States, his name's really Vega over in Japan. So, anyway, I think I accidentally picked him, and I'm not very good with him. But I'm really excited to have this. As you can see, most people play this 2-player, because look, the 2-player guys are totally rubbed off. And that was a brand new button when we opened. So, yeah. I'm not very good with that, apparently. Oh, there's a little slide. I think there's that move. There's that, and maybe, well, I really don't know many moves with him. I usually play as Ken or Ryu. That's something I learned this year. I've been saying Ryu for my whole life because I'm from Texas and we say things different, I guess. But it's Ryu. Another one I have, and I love having these two big cabinets together. X-Men versus Street Fighter. This was totally trash, and I put a nice new overlay on it. And this diamond plating actually matches in the instructions there, on the marquee, and down here. Marvel vs. Capcom. I used to work at Tilt, and I remember when we got this game brand new in Tilt, and it got the heck played out of it. So I put that here, and I actually put some moves on here. So you got a nice little move list on there for you. I try to do that as much as I can, put moves on the side, so figure out how to do a fatality in Mortal Kombat, that sort of thing. And then this was a new Dynamo cabinet I got. We put some kind of custom street-looking CPO on it, so I thought that was kind of cool because it went with this Pandora box custom marquee. And it has all the Street Fighter characters on there, which is really cool. But this game's neat because it's got 3,000 games on it. I didn't have to butcher a classic game to make it. It was just a Dynamo cabinet. It had Tekken 2 in it. And yeah, so you can do a couple things here. Like say you wanted to play a fighting game, you can hit the function select button and then just go to fighting games. And I made this big glowy orange button there. You can go into fighting games there. And this has all the fighting games. It's like literally 35 pages full of fighting games. So all those weird, different Street Fighters, all those rainbow set Street Fighters, you can play with all the weird rules and weird stuff. All the Samurai Showdowns, King of Fighters, just X-Men, Capcom, any of those kind of fighting games. Literally 35 pages of them. That's 3,000 games on it. So you can find some really rare stuff. There's even games from the PlayStation, Sega Genesis. It's really, really a neat thing. So if someone comes in and say, hey, I want to play whatever game it is, usually I have the dedicated cabinet because I try to pick kind of the best games to put in my arcade. But every once in a while, I don't have it. If you want to play Varth, I don't have a dedicated Varth. But if you want to play Varth, I can say, hey, let's check the Pandora box. Let's see if Varth is on there. I'll put it in. Have you ever heard of Varth? Yeah, most people haven't. But anyway, it's like a shmup. It's like a shooting up game. And somebody said, hey, I want to play Varth. And I was like, I'll see. Oh, yeah. And they were so happy. So I think that's why this is such a cool option. If you had your whole arcade filled with Pandora boxes, it would be one thing. If you have one in your arcade, I think it's kind of a cool thing for the people that want to play it. And usually people that want to play the Pandora box, they're just wanting to play one or two strange, weird games. Like there's a Sailor Moon game someone asked about. It's on there. So kind of fun. You want to play the big sit-down Jurassic Park riding game. Not nearly the same experience, but when's the last time we saw one of those? I mean, Chuck E. Cheese, 1994, when I created one at Chuck E. Cheese when I was younger. Anyway, I think it's kind of a cool addition to the arcade. And it's got its own box now instead of having to share with the Street Fighter 2 over there. So, pretty cool. Hugely popular NBA Jam. I think I'm really close to putting the Tournament Edition board set. We have those in the back, and I have a Tournament Edition marquee. I want to put it in there. Our version is the 2.0 version, and you can play as Mortal Kombat characters. And I'll have to make a whole video on the secret characters. This one has secret characters, but it's mostly programmers. So I kind of want to put in the Tournament Edition I got, like I said, the revision 2.0, so we can see a bunch of wacky characters. Gauntlet Legends, another fun one here. Blitz 99, played all the time. Beautiful Marble Madness. Man, great custom side art from this old game. Awesome custom bezel from Phoenix Arcades. Put the lighted track balls in, and man, just super fun game. I love it. And when I was a kid, I thought it was the game that came the closest to you being in the action. Like, it really feels like I am one with the game, because it is moving with different speed. A lot of times when you push a joystick, the speed doesn't change. You just go, you can push the joystick as hard as you want, but the speed doesn't go anywhere. This, the quicker you roll, the faster the ball rolls. Whatever direction you're rolling in, you're only interfered with by whatever you're hit by. You can move just as fast as you can move that ball, the faster it'll move and get out of the way, which I'm gonna get ate up. Oh, got lucky there. And I try to cross that guy over, go through there. You can tell I played it a couple of times, and I'm off the edge. So he's dead. Final fight, another fun beat 'em up. Alter Beast, and finally Star Wars Arcade. Some people were saying that the joystick was having some issues, so I got inside and worked on that joystick for the better part of this last year. And I'd get it going good, and then they would tell me again. And I'd work with the little potentiometers in there and fix it. They'd tell me it was busted again. Finally figured out, so going through this to work with the potentiometers, there's a little access panel that kind of blends in here. And I always saw it, but I didn't know there's a little board on the side of that joystick that had cold solder joints. So I soldered them back, and she's playing beautiful again. So you don't have to worry about the funky joystick. If you ask me about it, it is fixed. So, and that's it. That's the arcade tour. At least as of May. We put new games out all the time. Autumn, thank you for being my camera woman. Because she's rubbing her eyes. She's sleepy, folks. We worked all day today. So anyway, oh, there's one more game. How did we miss it? It's the one right in the middle of the room. Road Blasters. Anyway, I have had a whole video on this one, so I won't bore you with the details, but it's got this old game custom side art on it too, and a nice restore video online. But if you like this kind of content, remember to like and subscribe. If you're in the area, or even if you're out of the area and you're coming in town, we're in Haltom City. It's North Fort Worth. North Fort Worth? Did you say North Fort Worth? Northish Fort Worth? Northeastish Fort Worth? Anyway, Haltom City. We're by North Richland Hills and Watauga and Saginaw and Keller, if you're in the Keller area. Come and see us. We'd love to have you in here. We're open Wednesday through Sunday, and we open up at noon every day, noon to 8, all ages. After 8, it's 21 and up, and we'd love to have you. I'm going to say good night.